Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where do I even begin? First of all, beautiful, beautiful. The beauty of nature, the beauty of that magic that they're bringing in here. Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome to the Ultimate World Music Reaction Channel, all about music and psychology. My name is Rosalie. I'm happy that you're here. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe. I've got something special for you today. This was put out a year ago, and it's taken me way too long to finally check it out. Over 51 million views. An artist named Alffy Rev, who is from Indonesia, Travas, Indonesia, who majored in music arts and began his career performing at local gigs, from what I saw in Jakarta. And his popularity soon spread. He is an artist, a singer, a songwriter, from what I can see. And I am finally checking out a very special video, a very special song called Wonderland Indonesia, featuring Novia Bachmid. A very special shout out goes to Barton Banya. I hope I'm saying your name okay. I'm trying to pronounce it the French way. Thank you so much, Barton, for constantly watching the videos and commenting and being a valuable member of the community. He's been suggesting I check this out, and I should have been looking at this because from what I can tell, this is going to be really special. It's called Wonderland Indonesia, and it is an extraordinary project, it says in the description, combining music explorations and traditional cultures with modern concepts. The project was done to prove that Indonesian youth are capable to bring Indonesia to the next level. Oh, snap. This is going to be really special. It's a lengthier video. I'm going to try to listen through it as much as I can and comment in between without too many interruptions. But as always, make sure to subscribe. If you don't know yet, what we do here is we listen to music from around the world. We talk about various topics. We look at psychology in lyrics and music compositions. I got lots more I want to bring to this channel. But I want you to find encouragement here and entertainment and education. So let us begin. Here we go. There's an Avatar vibe.
Indonesia is the most beautiful land in the universe. The land where we were born. The nation where we grew up. So many colors that live together in peace. With a million timeless treasures. With an abundance of natural wealth. Indonesia is not just wonderful. Indonesia is a wonderland.
Kota baru gunungnya Bamega, Bamega Bamana di Salakara, Bamana di Salakara. Batamu lawanlah Adinda, Adinda iman bidadara, Samalayang iman bidadara, Samalayang. Sayang sayang si patokaan matego tego gorokan sayang 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 si patokaan matego tego gorokan sayang sajojo yumadam komi sa papare sa muna keke sa muna keke soleram 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 anak yang manis janganlah dicium sayang kalau dicium merah pipinya kampuan.
Let me pause real quick. I hate to pause. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where do I even begin? First of all, beautiful, beautiful. The beauty of nature, the beauty of that magic that they're bringing in here. Her eyes, the way they turned green there for a second, I feel fitting to that just sci-fi Avatar vibe that it had in the beginning. Beautifully showcasing nature, these historic ancient temples and buildings, the snake around the tree, right? A lot of mystery, a lot of awe. These beautiful women and their beautiful traditional adornment, if you will, the jewelry, the headpieces, their clothing, but still having a lot of modern elements, right? Those, like I said, sci-fi, those digital walls that are coming up, that we can see her face on then, right? Like a screen, if you will. But in the shape of pillars. So really this beautiful marriage between the traditional, right, as if they're pillars of some sort of temple or wall, but now as a screen that showcase the singer. Her vocal range, the texture of her voice, crisp and clear, great vocal range, beautiful breath control, very feminine, very sweet, just beautiful tone, beautiful, soothing to listen to. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The percussion and rhythmic elements, but still meshed with that modern day elements of EDM and electronics, what looked like a DJ, right? I mean, just, oh my gosh. Barton, I am so sorry it took me so long to check this out. This is indeed perfect for this channel. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. See the rhythm? This is beautiful. Me pause a little bit before the lady walks out with the baby. By the way, real quick, Novia Bachmid is an Indonesian YouTuber, and I believe, if I'm seeing correctly here, is she the one singing here as well? She's gorgeous. And if this is her singing throughout, I'm impressed with her vocal range. Those high notes she's just hitting with perfection, crystal clear. Oh my gosh. Her YouTube has 190,000 subscribers. Is this her official one? Novia Bachmid official, it says. She should have millions of listeners and viewers. She is gorgeous, and her voice is just, wow. There's a nice solo there.
Indonesia dengan ini menyatakan kemerdekaan Indonesia. Hal-hal yang mengenai pemindahan kekuasaan dan lain-lain diselenggarakan dengan cara saksama dan dalam tempo yang sesingkat-singkatnya. Jakarta, 17 Agustus 1945, atas nama bangsa Indonesia, Soekarno, Hatta.
Epic. Oh, I got so much to say. I gotta take notes. This is ridiculous. This is amazing. Wow. Wow. Okay, it's credits now. But even the beat and the track here in the credits is pretty epic. You almost don't want to miss it. Okay, so I think it looks like the rest of this track now is just credits, because there was a lot of people involved in this, because this was like a movie. And then let me just fast forward a bit. Okay, so the outro track, I'm gonna stop here so we can talk for a second. Don't go, subscribe. This was freaking awesome. The outro music here has the strong elements of all the EDM and the techno, and so all the credits. But I want to talk real quick. I was gonna take notes and then I was over. A couple of things. The elements towards the end had a very strong chant-like effect in unison, which adds to that patriotic, powerful, we are one type of thing. That audio snippet, it sounded like it was from 1945, I think. When did Indonesia become independent? I think it was, let's see here, 1945, August 17th, 1945. So that was a clip, I think, from that Declaration of Independence. And what is powerful is to see patriotism is not special or solely something we find in America, right? Though Americans are very proud of America, very rightfully so. It's an awesome country, awesome land. It's not the only awesome country in the world, right? Every country those who are truly patriotic will believe theirs is the best, right? But what I love about world music and going around the world is this reminder, traveling in person, which I have done, but also through music now on this channel, is being reminded that the world is such a beautiful big place. Is such a beautiful and big place. And this mindset of our country is the best in the whole world, to me, is very limited, because there are so many awesome countries and people who feel the very same thing about theirs. Now, is it wrong to feel that way about your country? No, that's why it's called patriotism. That's why people, that's why we need people to love and be proud of where they are and take care of it. There's something powerful about the phrase "we as the people," right? It's a big phrase here in America, "we the people." But even here, that snippet when it came to the Indonesian independence, it spoke of "for the people." There's something so beautiful about people coming together. And it's interesting because even within this song, you can see these elements of old and new, right? The traditional, the ancient, the beautiful traditions that make up Indonesia, which is truly a wonderland. And I would love to go there one day. But then also the modern elements, both within the music, the EDM, the techno, as well as the features within the music video, right? That avatar vibe, like I mentioned, the lights, the lighting, the beats, that techno EDM vibe. A younger generation coming together to represent their country. It's beautiful and it's necessary. And looking at it just a little deeper for a moment, when we look at existential fears, when we look at our desire to be immortal, to live on, to make something of ourselves, we have even there we have duality between the old and the new, right? We often find this where the new generation is criticized by the older generation, right? Like, oh, they're up to no good, or these rebels, right? You have the younger generation feeling misunderstood or criticizing the older generation for being stuck in their ways. And at the core, I think that too is because we long for immortality. We long to live on through the future, right? So older people might be worried about, oh my goodness, what are the young people going to do with the earth? What are they doing, right? Everything's changing. What about progress? What is this, right? Because they're so used to their own ways, familiarity is safe, it's security. And so if that's threatened, that's scary. When new people come along, younger people, and they say, oh, things have to change, that's scary to an older generation. That can be scary to an older generation that it feels safe with what's familiar, that longs to live on through their legacy, right? And if a younger generation comes and seems to threaten that intentionally or unintentionally, that can be that can cause existential fears, right? Because the older generation might say, what do you mean? Like, we did all this, we've established this, we've passed it down from generation to generation. Don't change it now, right? That's their legacy. That's how they can live on through the memories of others, through the monuments and the traditions. But in the same sense, the younger generation also longs to exist and to do something of value and meaning, because they want to propel themselves into the future. They want to change things from the past because it defines their existence. Maybe some things that were done incorrectly, things that were not done right? Sometimes reform is needed. Sometimes it's important to look back and say, we did this a certain way for so long. It's time for change. And that too is the younger generation's way of existing, of making a difference, of making a name for themselves. But we all, regardless of young or old, regardless where in our time, on our timeline we are, that time we have in the sun, that snippet we get to be alive here on this earth, we long to matter. And a part of that is defined by community, by belonging. So there's something special about patriotism, not because borders are the be all end all, I think is the expression, right? Borders are technically an illusion, right? The things that we have on this earth are technically free, right? The resources, we came here to this earth, and the things that grow, the things that we can create, the things that we can make, it's technically free. It was given to us, the resources of this earth. But we as humans decided to exchange them and to give it monetary value and to say, okay, you have to pay me, for those beans. You have to pay me for that corn and that coffee and economy and whatnot. We're going to not go into a deep lesson right now, but we as humans decided, this is mine, this is yours, here's the border. Now we get money involved or different currencies to give something value. And so people have kind of complicated things quite a lot, but those borders are technically, in theory, just an illusion, right? To say this is yours, this is mine. But in a practical way, they also exist for a reason, because it creates a level of structure, right? So not everybody can just come to one side or the other. Then you bring in politics and a government that says, oh, we want more land, right? Now we go to war to gain more power, more land, more access. Long story short, humanity is interesting in how it's evolved when it comes to economy, politics, philosophy, religion. But nonetheless, we humans have this interesting desire. Again, though borders are technically an illusion we've created, this idea of one side and the other. We humans, I think, have the desire to say something is mine. Kids do it even when they're little, right? That's my ball, right? They need to be taught, hey, share. Let's take turns, and all those things we want to teach in a society. As people, there's this duality between learning to get back to a place where you are in touch with the earth, where you understand you are part of a greater whole. It's not just about you. It's not you versus me. We're all connected. But at the same time, also understanding that there's beauty in saying, hey, I belong to a certain group. And I think there's something about the young people here of Indonesia and this group that created this project that wants to showcase to the world, hey, we are a people, we are a beautiful country, because that's what the rest of the world will do unless you're very traveled and cultured and studied. We box other people in. Many Americans who might think, hoorah, we're the best country in the world. And when you speak on diversity, which I experienced in the comments recently, I was coming at it from a world music channel, from a global viewpoint. I was coming at it from an immigrant standpoint. I was coming at it subjectively. Oh, it would be cool to have this and that aspect. But it caused certain defensiveness from some people because they were hearing me through the lens of how they view those racial topics, because it's a sensitive topic in America, for example, right? They possibly heard me through the lens of these polarized left versus right extremes, those who scream racism at every corner and those who are tired of it and will dismiss that, right? You have people on all sides that will want to be heard and have their opinion. But I recently experienced that even with a song when it came to American patriotism. And it's such a powerful reminder to me, even here, to see there are people in every country that want to belong, that identify and associate with a land, with a people, with the traditions that go back hundreds and thousands of years, depending on what country we're talking about. And here to see this man climbing and putting a stake in the ground, right? Calling this place Indonesia, and then how it went back to the sci-fi and the neon and the way that Avatar, like, everything is connected, the earth and the ecosystem and the communication within the earth, right? And then the people chanting, and even composition wise, and I'm sorry if I'm a little all over the place. It was so multifaceted. Going from EDM to going to some heavy rock was epic. That electric guitar solo, to then transition into more of a national anthem vibe of people in white standing there with their hand on their heart, crying, right? Really showing a love for their country. And psychologically, that's very understandable. That's why you have emotional reactions at concerts. You have a lot of emotional responses at political events, right? Because whatever people are passionate about, it will bring them together, but it can also cause a lot of division. And either way, it will cause strong emotional reactions. That's why people are often very reactive in the comment section, because it triggers something, but it's not the space to ask questions. We don't know these people personally, and it's easy just to comment, to be heard, just to say what you want to say, because there's no relationship there. Relationships, that's where we're refined, that's where we grow, because we can have a conversation where I speak and ask, where you speak and ask, where we listen to one another. That's missing on social media, and so a lot gets lost in stereotypes and lack of communication. But when you've actually bled for something, when you love something dearly, when it connects you to the core of your identity, to a land, to a people, to traditions, both the old and young generation, it creates this emotional response of love for a place. And it'll mean different things to different people, right? Do we see someone crying and some may go, oh my goodness, what type of patriotism is this? Why cry for your land? But we don't know what actually is on these people's minds. We don't know what they actually associate. They may have lost a loved one to war. They may remember their great-grandfathers or their grandmothers who have passed down recipes and traditions. They may feel a sense of pride because they're part of something beautiful. They may cry because they've personally may feel out of place in certain settings, but that's one thing where they feel like they belong. I mean, the list is endless of what is really behind our desire to be close to a country, to belong to a group. And I'm going all over. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. I think there's just something beautiful, something psychologically very profound about that unity. Also standing out as a nation, being distinct, right? Saying we are Indonesia. We're not like everybody else. We're not like the stereotypes you want to put on us. but also saying we belong together, that we're going to unite. We had gained our independence in 1945. We are here now. We're leaving a mark, and doing so with a powerful musical composition that is very multifaceted and just switches from one part to the next, a full on movie production that mixes both old and new, tradition with modern, um, traditional instruments and um, national, what is the word? Characteristics with modern elements like EDM, like the electronic, like the DJ, like the electronic guitar. This YouTuber, this young lady, bringing her in. I mean, just very creative way of combining old with new and saying we are Indonesia. And psychologically, to me, it makes a lot of sense that this would evoke a lot of emotion, both because music is very emotional. The beat, the rhythm, the melody, the notes that are used, the composition of all of it, the vocalization, all of that creates an emotional response in us. And then you add a music video that is as powerful as this, right? A beautiful young woman, a mother holding her child, right? Could it be a reflection on Mother Indonesia, right? Mother Earth can be a reflection on the people, a mother, right? And her child, the next generation, giving birth to something, creating something beautiful. Nature, it's this beautiful marriage between people and nature and a country, the historic buildings. One thing before I forget, that dragon, right? That monument that broke and came alive. On one hand, made me think of old things breaking away, right? An ancient statue that is still and dead being broken up, and old things being making way for the new, right? This dragon comes to life. And now it's like all, sci-fi, green or blue eyes, right? It's the old is moving away, new things are coming, are breaking free. But at the same time, it was not that the old is just being put away with, it was being remade. So it was still a dragon like before, but it was no longer this ancient statue. It was now a modern, LED youthful dragon going around. It just very powerful, beautiful, phenomenal work. What do you think? What does this evoke in you? If you are from Indonesia, thank you for sharing your beautiful culture and country with us and allowing us to have some insight into this beautiful land. If you are not from there, what do you think? What comes to mind when you see other countries and their beauty and the diversity and the vastness of that? These places are just as precious, just as beautiful as the land that we live in, whatever land that is for you. I think it's a beautiful reminder that the world is a beautiful, colorful place, and there's so much to learn and appreciate. I loved this. This was absolutely amazing. Wow. Comment below, subscribe, and I will see you on the next ride. Ayo! Ayo!